the concept "think locally, act globally" comes from a space of my shamanic training being the divination. When we think, we as men and women, humans, demigods, we move into a space of knowing the future, knowing the trends, and being in meditation, being in a higher consciousness state. So one of the concepts that has been coming up, and I'm going to go from my mother, which is the think locally, to the act globally, which is my father, who's working for the government in the postal service at this time. So I just had a game with him. Every year we have a game. Thanksgiving, yesterday was Thanksgiving, I went to a softball game. It's not really family, it's just friends and family. So the only Hugheses are myself, my father, and my brother, which is really tripping on me because we always consider it to be a family softball game. We're the only Hughes present. So it's like, all right. After the game, I've seen my father's friends my entire life. I mean, from when I used to do this. Now it's like, yeah, you guys are pretty short. I don't know, one of them's kind of tall, but Dad's a little shorter than me, and the other guy's kind of like the same height as me. So they're talking about gold, buying, what is it called when you buy a portion of gold online, a virtual gold? Future, or you can either trade commodities and futures and exchange, actually buying the physical gold, actually
bullion,
yeah. And I'm like, gosh, I would never, my government job-based friends and family and father talking about investing, which is unusual for the common man. But when you think globally, and you're coming from a place of abundance that we were just talking about, as a spiritual thing, you get involved with pattern watching. And one of the patterns we've had lately is the concept of the economy being bad, having a shitty economy, a bad economy, right? But what caused that? Maybe the printing of money for one, war for another, several things. It's like we're in complete control of that. All those factors we have complete control over. So now the concept is before the sacred spiral as to how do we invest globally? And it's been coming up for me in my shamanic divinations, in my meditation, that an investment globally might mean that we get to invest in markets, we get to invest in commodities, we get to invest in communities, because commodities equal communities.
That's true.
Because as a community, we should be supporting other communities. And if, for example, a community is a mining industry, or I'm using this as a poor example because it was what my dad was talking about. It's not necessarily the most conscious community. Mining isn't a conscious thing, in my opinion, because I'm earth wisdom and I don't like us pulling the earth stuff out for us to own. But, for example, if it's a company that we're invested in, as a group, as a community, maybe that allows us to be much more profitable and therefore turn over a profit a lot quicker just by watching how the global society reflects the local society, and thus an investment is made, and then we turn over some profit, and we do an event like free healing for the Western medical community. Oh my gosh, now we've got the backing for that, and it all just came from conscious awareness of what was going on around this globe. So that is the concept I want to push forward because it's been coming up to me constantly, and I want to see, because I know I've got a few people who are involved in trading and market watching. I want to see how this might coalesce from the shamanic meditation, Reiki energy work into an actual collaboration between those who are a little bit more here and saying there's a trend, there's a trend, there's a trend, and those who are a little more here and here saying, aha, I feel something coming on, it's time to make an action. And making those two people meet in the middle somewhere, or having an opportunity to exchange and communicate that allows for where this skips a beat.
We could have a show called The Simple Guide, Mad Money.
Mad Money. A simple guide, yeah.
So are you looking at investing in commodities and current things in business, or in trends that are looking towards the global space?
I'm looking at trends, and for example, if we get involved in commodities trading, if we get involved in stock trading, if we get involved in what's the word, profit sharing or non-profit grant writing, things like that, it has to be something that is a communal decision, not just Travar saying, it's time to write us a grant, it's time to get some new businesses started, my such and such are going to go associated with those things because I'm the one spearheading the project. No, it's got to be a collective opportunity for all of us to say, yes, maybe we invest in soybeans company, SOS, for a week or whatever, yeah. Or it's like maybe we just follow the markets and say, all right, now it's a little bit better of a time for us to be aware of doing events. Maybe it's just following the economy, for example, following government, following other news feeds. Being aware, making each other aware, and having a canon for that awareness will allow each and every one of us to make our private decisions of how to invest our private money all that much better. So I'm really dedicated to this from a shamanic perspective, which means that I'm really in it from here. But be it that I have a really great mind space for numbers and statistics, I'm willing to bridge that gap and work as an intermediary between people who are just in the space of watching statistics to those who are in the space of watching their gut reactions. And this comes up in several ways. As a representative for the human design community here in San Diego, it's like, all right, where's your reaction going to be? And where's it going to be in highest tandem with the team? Because you see your body map, and sometimes that links with another person, or sometimes it just overrides. Furthermore, shamanism, the whole basis for it in communities, in tribes, was to predict things. To say, you're ailing because of so-and-so condition. Oh, but maybe they said it in code, like there's these spirits on you or this and that. The corn, for example, is a commodity that we can predict shamanically based on weather programs, based on concepts of the moon, the tides, everything. It's all related. So it's like, wow, we've got all these things that sort of fit together, but we're not utilizing them together. So one of the things that I wanted to bring before the group for commentary is how to utilize things like watching the internet. How many Google searches in a day go such and such? In this way, maybe more people are researching the word green. The word green becomes a hot thing. How can we invest in that? So being aware of these hot things before they're so hot that we don't have enough money to invest in them is something that I'm committed to being aware of personally. And I'd also like people to open up in this circle to their friends, family. Maybe there's a way to network conscious growth of other communities so that we can invest at the right times in those communities. Because it's not just about our community, it's about the global community.